This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Cloudy this afternoon, mostly sunny tomorrow, 22. With the 4 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. A man from Semaphore Park has been arrested following a dangerous pursuit from Woodville North to Burnside via a sedan failed to stop for patrols mid-morning on Hanson Road. He was tracked by ground and air, at times travelling on the wrong side of the road and running red lights. He eventually came to a stop at Burnside after having his tyres spiked at neighbouring Glenside. The 33-year-old was taken into custody without incident. The car was also reported to be involved in a collision with a taxi at Thepperton. Business groups have slammed a decision to increase the minimum wage by 5.75%. Australia's lowest paid workers will earn just over $859 a week from July 1st. Unions have welcomed the boost but say it could have been higher. Chamber of Commerce and Industry Chief Executive Andrew McKellar warns the size of the pay rise could put jobs at risk.
This will impact particularly small businesses the most. It adds to pressure which is already intense as a result of significantly higher costs that they've been facing through the supply chain, through energy prices and now through wages.
The Prime Minister will deliver the keynote address at a major security and defence conference in Singapore. Anthony Albanese will use his speech to talk about stability and peace in the region. US and Chinese defence ministers are also in attendance. Mr Albanese says everyone in the Indo-Pacific needs to work together to boost prosperity.
And we know that security isn't just about defence, it's also about our capacity to be less vulnerable to shocks, whether that's a future pandemic, a trade or cybersecurity shock, or regional or international conflict.
Australia Post is raising the cost of parcel and package delivery services from next month. The service says soaring costs and group losses are behind the increase. Fees will change across business mail, domestic and international parcel deliveries. The Qantas chairman has admitted the airline could have navigated the pandemic better. Richard Goyder says there was a rush to return to the skies.
I think we tried to come back too soon. We desperately wanted to because we wanted to get some cash flow and people wanted to get going again. So I think if we had our time again, we would have just stepped through that a bit more and probably just been more realistic on what we were going to be able to deliver.
Earlier this week, the Flying Kangaroo welcomed new aircraft as it looks to re-establish itself post-COVID. Former Test cricketer Stuart MacGill has been cleared of intimidating a woman in Sydney. The 52-year-old was accused of stalking and verbally intimidating her best friend's former fiancé. In dismissing the charges, the magistrate told the court she did not accept the woman's evidence that Mr MacGill shouted and pointed at her in a threatening manner. Defence lawyer Stephen Markell says his client was emotional as the verdict was read out.
You saw him on screen, he was quite upset. This whole process has been very draining for him. He's gone through a very difficult process, but as I said, our team is really, really happy for him and he's also very, very happy.
Jockey Dean Holland's partner has released a statement 5 weeks after his death. Lucy, a mother of 4, says she's been overwhelmed by the support after losing Dean during a meet in Victoria in April. A GoFundMe page for the family has raised almost $2 million. And 50 candles will be on the cake at tonight's Adelaide Festival Centre birthday party. The complex on the banks of the Torrens is celebrating its half-century with a special concert. Now turning to FIVEAA sport, Port trained today ahead of tomorrow's home clash against Hawthorn. The Power welcoming back Todd Marshall this weekend. Crow Brodie Smith is back in the side for tomorrow night's clash against Gold Coast, along with Mitch Hinge. Round 12 starts tonight with Melbourne and Carlton at the MCG. Bailey Humphrey has signed a 4-year contract extension with the Suns. The NBA Finals series is underway with Denver taking Game 1 against the Miami Heat, 104-93. And the final Aussie in the French Open singles draw, Thanasi Kokkinakis, will hit the court tonight as he tries to make the second week of a major for the first time. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Afternoon, few collisions to look out for on the drive home. One at Camden Park, Morford Road near Carlton Road. Another collision, this one's at West Hindmarsh, South Road near Grange Road, and another smash at Keswick, Richmond Road near Marlow Road. Urgent sewer work slowing things up today at Parkside, Glen Osmond Road near Fullerton Road. And look out for cameras on the drive home, Hardies Road, Torrensville, and Hewitson Road at Edinburgh North. More great specials at Foodland. Australian Hass avocados 95 cents each. Yes, just 95 cents each. Hurry, ends today at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Cloudy this afternoon, mostly sunny tomorrow 22, and a shower or two Sunday and Monday with tops of 21. Right now it's 19 degrees. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
The call for help that got a callous answer and ended with a police shooting. Hear the audio that will shock you. Emotional tributes for a war veteran killed when his motorbike crashed in the Adelaide Hills. Millions of Australians set for a pay rise, how much you'll get, plus the plan to get local school kids eating healthier. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
Yeah, 6 minutes after 4 on your Footy Friday. All thanks to Rusden Wines in the Barossa Valley, home of the Blackgut Shiraz. Go to rusdenwines.com.au. Big round 12 of football coming up. You guys can't keep yourselves together. We're trying to start a show here. Stephen Rowey, Tim Ginnivan.
Thanks, Sammy. Yeah, we're live at the Barbecue Adelaide Weber store in Mile End. We're here with Barnes. It's round 12. Both our clubs are playing. We're lightweight teams. Some say 2 banana pills. Timmy, welcome. As I welcome you, I look straight out into the magnificent store that is the Barbecue Weber store here in Adelaide. And Steve and Pagey from Walco are the first here. The doors were open at 4:01 and they're here at 4:01.5.
Well, you know what the irony of that is? You don't have to say, where are you now? Because they're always here.
They got the pirate life. So,
they're always
so we've got well, it's a mid-year 5AA footy team barbecue.
Yep, correct, the footy sponsors.
Footy sponsors.
Yeah.
We look forward to it. We thank to Barnesy because he's one of the great hosts. But it does belong to Craig Goodwin today, the Johnny Warren medalist. So Goody won the Johnny Warren. Calviet, the coach of the year. Cooper Stadium voted best venue. What a season. Just a pity we didn't make this weekend's grand final. Here is a very proud Craig Goodwin, who I thought was the clear best A-League player this year.
It's been an amazing year for myself, and I owe it all to my teammates at Adelaide and the coaching staff. I think, it's easy for players to sit here and say the playing group is like a band of brothers, but it really is for me, and I cherish every moment I get to share with them on the pitch and with the coaching staff as well, and playing with Adelaide United.
Marcos Flores won it back in 2011. He's our second. He got 41 votes. He was a runaway winner. The next best was 33. It's his first of a 3-year deal. He's the best player in the A-League.
I was really pleased about Rowey, having been watching Adelaide United the past 5 years. His development when he was playing at the Reds, he went away overseas. He came back, and I could see it was a different player already. And it was about not only his touch, but his fitness had increased quite significantly. And I really saw it come the early part of this A-League season, how much ground he was covering up and down. And I thought to myself, I hope they take him away with the Socceroos. And you know what it's like? You think an A-League player, is he going to get in the squad even, Not only did they take him away, but he was clearly the best in the comp. And Arnie saw it and played him. Yeah, and when he played him and he scored the first goal for Australia, you're going, that's the year he's had. Yeah, and it just kept building. Well done, Goody.
Well done, Goody. We look forward to speaking to him next week. He's busy today, but we will touch on that later in the show. Sunday morning, our time is the FA Cup. It's a Manchester derby, United v Man City.
That's
Man City, well, they've won the EPL. They can't lose from where they are. They'll win the FA Cup. They're in the Champions League.
You reckon they're going to win the Cup? That's it. It's all over.
Oh, well, I mean, Man United aren't that good.
Well, it's about the spirit.
Have you seen Man City?
Yeah, they're awesome. But
they haven't lost for about 3 months.
No doubt about that. But there's something about Man United v Man City. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's Port Crows.
Well, here's the thing. They're in the final of the Champions League. They play Inter Milan. If they win that, that'll be the treble with the FA Cup. Here's the thing. The last team to do that was 1999. Man United won the treble. So they've got a bit to play with there.
Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, but it is round 12. Let's get on to the footy. Port take on Hawthorn, a team they owe a belting to after that round 2. Would you call it a Russell Ebert debacle game?
It was.
I know you were
filthy
about that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's Ken Hinkley on the winning streak.
we're going after not just 9, we're hoping to get to 10 and 11 and whatever that is. We're going to go as far as we can, hopefully, without losing games.
Timmy beat Hawthorn tomorrow to be 9 straight.
Yes.
Since the untenable line in the sand moment.
Yeah, well, it was a big moment.
Are we going to call it that, the untenable line in the sand moment?
I prefer the line in the sand moment, but
okay,
because
I'll just cross that out.
What the line in the sand does, it opens up because it was for everybody that's involved with the footy club. When okay, we know where we're at is not good enough. So how are we going to get better?
Yeah.
And I think the whole club has done a marvelous
drew a line
job
in the sand
and has jumped over that line to the good side and just powering on.
No one predicted 9 straight, and they'll get it. Not even Kenny, Koshy, or you, Timmy. You're ever the optimist.
Yeah.
Did you think they'd win 9 straight? Pagey thought they could.
Well, it's a record. It's a record. Do you think about how good this streak is? And
better than 01, 02, 03, 04, where you finished top, and you didn't stop.
Well, yeah, unfortunately they did in a couple of those years.
I know.
But the issue, what I was about to say, you look at that era of 01, 2, 3, 4, the side and the wins that they had in some of those seasons, you go, to win 9 in a row in this competition
unbelievable.
Is tough. Regardless of who you
are.
are.
I salute them. They've been absolutely outstanding. So have you say about that? 82230000. Crows are in Darwin. They've just arrived apparently. We'll train at 5:30. We will speak to Adam Kelly live from the Oval, TIO Stadium. We'll call that tomorrow night. They take on the Suns. We know it. Here's Darcy Fogarty. He's acknowledging playing away is the key to their season.
A big thing for us is just sort of treating it the same during the week and then sort of creating our own energy when we're away. So obviously the fans at Adelaide Oval when we play there are unreal and they give us a massive boost, but when they're not there and we've got to sort of do it ourselves, it's sort of probably proven that we struggled a little bit.
To 9 News there, the big fog. Their away record this year, GWS away, lost, stinky. Geelong lost, stinky. Bulldogs lost, really stinky. Oh, I can still smell it.
Yeah.
It's got caught right in my nostrils, that one.
They
beat Hawks in Launceston, was a good win. They must beat the Suns in Darwin. If they lose, they'll be on the same amount of wins. It'll be 6 wins, 6 losses after 12. 7-5, and beating them up there sounds a lot better. It is an 8-point game. B. Smith said that, didn't he?
He did, indeed, and I tend to agree with him last night because we'll talk to head of football, Adam Kelly, a bit later on the show. I actually want to just ask him, when we went there in the pre-season and what they presented, do they see 6-6 as above where they thought? Do they see 7-5 as like, oh, that's awesome?
Yeah, now they're in it. Yeah.
Whereas I think, they were optimistically hopeful.
I would take 6-6.
And I reckon they were cautious on their predictions.
Yeah. We'll do that with
I think you would have taken 6-6 in a blink of an eye.
Hell yeah, but now that we've seen how good they can play at their best.
Now you go to the next level.
That's exactly right. Suns smashed the Dogs up there last week. They're building form and confidence. This is the Suns. They've been up there for 2 weeks to acclimatise. Now remember, last year they beat the Crows by 43 points. So this will be a massive challenge, and it's not lost on Matty Nix.
Every side in the competition that can win on any week. So, with all those teams sort of fighting out for, anything from sort of 5th through to 10th, every win's an important one. Every weekend's an important one. Not only win-loss, but also percentage will come in. I would say by the end of the year, there'll be teams that'll be fighting for that last spot, and it'll be a percentage conversation.
He's spot on. What's a bigger banana peel this weekend?
Oh, hello.
Crows up there versus the Suns, which will be slippy.
Yes.
Or Port v Hawks tomorrow?
I think there's more danger in the Darwin game.
There is.
For Crows.
Well, they're more likely to lose.
I also think it's so vital for Adelaide. To be 7-5 is such a big difference. And I know we described 8 points as the example of that, but I really think that's the big game. That is the big game.
It is.
For Port, it wouldn't surprise me if it's a tough game and they win by 3 or 4 goals. That's the way they're playing at the moment. So, and I haven't got any qualms with it because they keep getting the W. But on Nixie's point, you heard him say this is a really tough comp. That gets back to Port's 8 in a row. It's why it's so impressive. It's hard to win and win every week, and that's what they're doing at the moment. And they've done it on the back of just giving everything they've got, and that's all we ask. Port Adelaide supporters, you never ever give in.
That's it.
We'll be happy with
8223 We've got a $50 Powers voucher. Lines available. We'll take your calls. Treaders will join us at 4:30. I'm looking forward to that. A lot to get through. We'll cross to Nathan Bassett as well. He's port assistant. Adam Kelly has just arrived up there in Darwin. We are all yours. We're down here at Barnsley's Weber Adelaide store. Can't wait. Pagey and Wormy are just sitting to our left. We've got all our footy sponsors coming in. I'd suggest if you're on your way, you're listening and you're tuned in, get in here quick because the pirate life's going quickly. It's like a siphon. It's just getting intravenously fed into Pagey's guts.
We're getting close to the weekend. We certainly are. For barbecue cooking tips and all sorts of tricks, you can talk to Barnesy and his team. Come into Barbecue Adelaide Weber stores. They're at Jeps Cross, and we are today at Mile End. 4:15. We still have Port Locker Room tickets to give away. Terry McAuliffe with some tips as well. All coming up on the show. We'll take your calls next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. It's time to celebrate great South Australian businesses, and you'll find the very best in 5AA's Best of SA.
Like basic trailers made from Aussie steel right here in Paraka. So whether it's for life on the farm, as a tradie's best mate, custom made or general workhorse, basic trailers are designed and manufactured to take anything you can throw at them. Basic trailers, bigger, better, stronger.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Maxima and Adelaide's 5AA.
Don't just send it, ace it.
I'm with Chris from ASIC Couriers, an SA family business, doing great things for your business.
Thanks, Rowey. Our drivers all undergo intensive training, and the ASIC compliance team regularly audit our fleet. Plus, we use the latest satellite technology to track your deliveries. No matter what it is, we can deliver it safely and on time. Visit asiccouriers.com.au.
Don't just send it, ace it.
Southgate GWM is overstocked and all vehicles must be cleared. All models, all colours, price to clear. Make an offer. Don't buy anything until you speak to Southgate GWM. Just 25 minutes from the CBD. Only at Southgate GWM. LVD 152780.
My wallet's feeling the burn. My wife's wallet is not feeling the burn, and that's why I send her to Cheap as Chips for some real hot buys. Snack to your heart's content. Cheap as Chips have the sweet tooths covered. Cadbury favourites, 265 gram, only $4.99. All for the savoury types. Sambourne thin chips, 175 gram bags, 2 for just $5. So you do that better than the cheapest chips do.
Yeah.
I think you should be the voiceover.
I'm looking for the role.
Right, you do it and I'll do it behind you.
All right, done. And to wash it all down, Pepsi and Schweppes 1.25 litre scorching hot deal at $1.75. Or pick up a Masterfood squeezed tomato sauce, 2 for just $4. This is incredible. Load up on essentials while you're there. Now, 110 pack of finished dishwashing tablets. They're brilliant. I bought them myself. $17.99. Radiant commercial blend, 2 kilo. A red hot $7.99. And assorted Lynx deodorants, 3 for just $10. Rowey, I'm going to get you a 6-pack. Check out with this week's catalogue for more hot buys in store and online. Save cash and live cheaper with.
No, you do it. You're better.
Chips. Cheapest chips. Chips.
You're off then?
Yes, dear.
The backyard needs a good trim with the ride-on mower.
Totally. The kids will be done shortly, so they need picking up from the oval.
Good plan. Why are you giving me the car keys?
You can't walk to the oval, silly. Oh, don't worry, the backyard will look fantastic by the time you get back. Mwah.
Okay, dear. But I get the ride-on next time?
We'll see. Probably not.
Stanford Mowers for ride-ons. 590 Main North Road, Jeps Cross. stanfordmowers.com.au.
I never thought I'd be homeless at 70, but I was. And I'm not alone. Women my age are experiencing homelessness at alarming rates. Please donate to the Vinnie's Winter Appeal at vinnies.org.au or call 131812. And give older women like me the immediate and long-term support needed to escape homelessness forever. If it wasn't for Vinnie's, I don't know where I'd be.
Winter is coming, but the forecast isn't all bad, as the Olympic Industries winter sale is on now. Expect strong savings across our entire range of sheds and more. Step out and grab a deal. Olympic Industries. Built to last.
IGA's Price Match Promise. We checked, we matched, you won't pay more. Every week we check and match the regular price of the big 2 supermarkets on hundreds of everyday products. Just look out for the Price Match tickets in store. Participating stores only. See website for full terms.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
20 minutes after 4. We'll get to your calls in just a moment. 8223 0000, $50 Powers voucher to give away, and lots of texts coming through on the unique Homestyle Foods text line. Proudly baking for hundreds of South Australian businesses, large and small, for 35 years. Let's check your traffic.
At Camden Park, there's a crash Morford Road near Carlton Road. West Hindmarsh, another collision, South Road near Grange Road, and a Prospect twisted traffic light slowing things up Prospect Road near Regency Road. Quite busy at the moment, Grange Road at Tapley's Hill Road, with cameras John Rice Avenue, Elizabeth South, and Main North Road at Elizabeth Park. This end of financial year, Bob Gen T-Marts have great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. With 15 stores located in Adelaide, they'll look after you. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
All right, guys, unique Homestyle Foods text. Hi, guys, just want to say thank you. 5AA's help. The great James Wellham helped me out with tickets to go and see the Adelaide Crows on Sunday. I moved to Brisbane 15 years ago and hadn't watched a game at Adelaide Oval since the improvements. Well, I was that excited I had Stephen Rowe's life members ticket, and I didn't give it back. Then
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Well,
Jimmy only just gave it back to me
well,
today.
that's up to Jimmy to give it back.
Get to the rest of it, Tim.
Then on Wednesday, I got to meet Tim at the State of Origin. How good's that? That was the biggest highlight of my life.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, it's not written there? Oh, sorry. Anyway, but he says, how good do SA put on a show? I met Dave, your champion. He's a Gawler boy, but moved up to Brisbane and was excited about coming down and said it was absolutely awesome. I think it was with his mate Jonesy, was it? Yeah. They had a great
But we were
night.
in the Telstra Plaza. One thing I did notice about the crowd moving in, they had real excitement on their faces.
Yeah.
It was like a
It's
final.
buzzing.
Like, you know, when you go to a final, you know that the end result, it could be a win. My team could win.
It was awesome.
That was the faces of the New South Welsh and Queenslanders going in, because if there's ever a game or a rivalry like the Showdown or Port Nord in the day, that's 50-50, that's the one.
That was awesome.
No one can pick him. I love those games.
All right, let's go to the phones. Brad at One Tree Hill. G'day, Brad.
Yeah, good evening, young Rory and Timbo. How you going, boys?
Excellent, mate.
Yeah, listening to John Olsen the other night. Now, you know, since I was quite impressed because this mob that the latest protesters, you know, got all information wrong, because since we've lost our home ground, lost everything to Crows, I felt like, you know, in the Bible would have been like the Hebrews wandering around aimlessly in the desert for 40 years without a home. Finally,
that bad.
He's gone biblical.
Finally get a sniff of a home. And these protesters keep knocking it back, you know, and but I think John Olsen and the boys, I think it's going to happen. Build it and they will come.
Well, there's 12 lots of stakeholders. Some of them are digging their toes in. Some, like the residents, have got to get their facts right. The NIMBYs, well, they just need to go forth and... Oh, no, I was going to say...
Multiply?
Yeah. Am I allowed to do that one?
Oh, well,
okay. Well, I'm a little bit gun-shy as to how you deal with these sort of things. I'm trying to put a little filter over myself, Timmy, which I'm very proud of. He will get it to happen.
Yeah.
My biggest concern moving forward is the dollars. For every month... And John Olsen said this, for every month they are delayed or late, it's $1 million.
And
now, build a house today and see what happens.
It's gone from 85 to 100, is
That's
that right?
exactly. It's called a variation. And as the interest rates go up and there's variations and all of that, I'm just fearful. I hope they can find the money. I know they've gone out to the market to all their key sponsors to say you can buy this, this and this. They'll be able to generate the money. I mean, if Nord can go out and 2 phone calls make $3 million, surely they can go out and 5 phone calls and make 12. Because they need to find 12.
Okay. We'll see how that one develops. Let's go to Mark from Nord on the mid-season draft. Mark, what do you think?
Afternoon, gentlemen. Pre-season draft is one of them. Just got a point first. I was thinking about this the other night. There might not be anyone at the Brownlow.
Oh.
With the MRO. If you work it out,
right.
if you work it out that a player has probably 200 tackles a year, one of them, just one of them, has to go wrong, and they're not there. And
Can you bet on this and gamble? Can you bet on this, gamble responsibly, that this year's Brownlow medalist will have been rubbed out? Last year it would have been Paddy Cripps. I think that would be a really good bet.
Yeah, more than
the
likely.
more than likelihood is.
Well,
so who's up the top now? Butters? He plays on the edge.
Dacos.
Oh, maybe not. No, I don't think I could see him getting rubbed out, so that's not a good bet.
Oliver, Petrarca, Bontempelli.
All of them?
Yeah, but to your point, Mark, what another alternative could be is that the Brownlow medalist wins the medal with 3 votes because he's the only one not rubbed out.
He could well be. Now, my next point. Hello?
Yes, got you.
Go
We're all yours.
Yeah. No, my what's it? Mid-season draft. This is more Timmy than you, Rowey, but Quinton Narkle.
Yes.
A bit same to me, but I would have been all in and up to Caleb Coulter. I mean, Rowey's seen him play. This kid's 6'4", plays on a wing. Apparently he's got a good leg. Drafted at number 30. Just can't fit into Collingwood side, unfortunately. Like, you got Bergman, who may not be there next year. Ooh, you've got a 21-year-old 6'4" wingman.
That's a very good point, Mark. I'm not sure if they did look at him, but I'm with you. He's very similar to Bergman, and you're right. He's probably had a really good side that he can't crack into. I still like him.
They listed him, didn't they?
Yeah.
So where's he now?
He got
Bulldogs.
Got picked up in the mid-season.
He was playing for Footscray in the VFL, and now he got picked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the Western Bulldogs.
Good on
AFL senior list.
No, very good point, Mark. We'll keep an eye on him. But, I liked him as a player too. But, look, Quinton Narkle, let's hope he comes to Port Adelaide and makes an impact.
Yeah. Well, ask Treaders that, because I'm with him. That is a bit same.
Yeah, and Poulter's definitely different.
If you looked at your list profile and you said, what do you need right now in the mid-year draft, because Georgiadis has been put on long-term, I wouldn't have thought Quinton Narkle. I'm wrapped for the lad because I think he'll fit in. He can play. He's a talent. And he was probably, it might be this, who's the next best kid out there? Oh, it's Quinton Narkle. Well, let's put him in.
Yeah, might be that.
I don't mind that.
We'll ask that to Treaders next. It's 27 minutes after 4. Got the 4:30 headlines coming up. Just before we do go, I'm seeing Channel 7 News Melbourne put out some news around the Hawthorn investigation. Obviously, there's been a development, and there will continue to be. The 4 complainants in the Hawthorn racism saga have formally lodged a claim with the Human Rights Commission, so that is starting up as we speak.
Are we getting fatigued with this?
I think we are, but that's just a brand new piece of information.
Robbo said it, though, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, it was going to happen eventually, and it sounded like the end of the week.
He's talking to the families.
Yeah.
So okay, they can launch that. Happy days, you deserve to. If you feel that aggrieved, do it. And I hope you get some satisfaction in it all. To Alistair Clarkson and co, if you feel aggrieved, we'll go to the courts and sue Hawthorn or the AFL, whatever you want to. Sadly, that's where it's going to land. And if that gives people a level of comfort, well, we're just going to have to sit back and hope they can.
Yeah, that new process is beginning by the sounds. The reports coming out of Melbourne just now. 27 after 4, get to the headlines and Treaders to join us next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
A defamation case by Australia's most decorated soldier, war veteran Ben Roberts-Smith, against 3 newspapers has been dismissed.
Each proceeding must be dismissed.
Informing Adelaide.
Arguing truth as a defence in defamation is basically like putting your house on winning. And it's a huge credit to these journos that they did it and that they won. It's a total vindication.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
The Kia EV6 GT. A sleek, pure electric supercar. Enjoy your flight. The Kia EV6 GT.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
The Adelaide Showground Farmers Market have a producer's guarantee. Everything is produced by the people selling it, so it's all local. It means you know who distilled your gin, who baked your bread, whose chooks laid your eggs, and who picked your veggies. It means less food miles, reducing your carbon footprint, and your food is tastier, fresher, and often lasts longer. So become a locavore at the Adelaide Showground Farmers Market every Sunday morning, 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Enter via Rose Terrace.
We've all got our favourites in life, and there's nothing better than a trip up the hill to the Barossa. Ancient soils, old vines, and plenty of those first-class wines. A must-stop while you're there is my mates at Rusden Wines. I've done the trip, and there's nothing better than sitting in front of that fireplace with a glass of my old faithful Blackgut Shiraz. Footy season means red season, so do yourself a favour and make your next red a Rusden. Check out rusdenwines.com.au.
The Royal Flying Doctor Service will be landing in your letterbox soon. Expect to learn about all the incredible things they do to help all South Australians, including those of us who live in Adelaide. It could be a heart attack, motor vehicle or farming accident. It could be helping a mum deliver a premature baby. Without the Royal Flying Doctor Service, they'd have to go it alone. For the people and the life you love, keep the Flying Doctor flying. Please show your support and donate today. Visit flyingdoctor.org.au.
Buying a home is a huge investment, not just financially, but emotionally. So a professional inspection is a must. But remember, not all house inspectors are equal.
It's hard to believe this, but you don't need a builder's licence to be a house inspector. That's why it's important to choose House Inspect Australia for the most qualified team of inspectors in the nation.
If you thought a good house inspector was hard to find, well, take a look at House Inspect Australia. Don't risk a dodgy inspection. Be 100% sure. Go to houseinspectaustralia.com.au.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. The 4 complainants in the Hawthorn racism saga have formally lodged a claim with the Human Rights Commission. A man from Semaphore Park has been arrested following a dangerous pursuit from Woodville North to Burnside via West Terrace. The Prime Minister is preparing to deliver a major defence and security speech in Singapore. And in sport, Melbourne play Carlton in tonight's round 12 opener at the MCG. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
There's a crash at Camden Park to look out for. Morford Road near Carlton Road. West Hindmarsh, another collision. South Road near Grange Road. And a twisted traffic light slowing things up at Prospect. That's on Prospect Road near Regency Road. Busy right now. South Road at Anzac Highway with cameras Main North Road Prospect and Mofflin Road at Elizabeth Grove. The Audi end of financial year event is on now, presenting you with an exciting opportunity across a range of exceptional models. Drive Progress today. Ends June 30. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, mostly clear tonight, down to 13, partly cloudy tomorrow, 23. Right now it's 20 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 and, as it happens, on 5AA.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 28 minutes to 5 coming up soon. Crows GM of footy, Adam Kelly, to join us. Port Adelaide's Nathan Bassett's going to come on as well. And we still have those Port locker room tickets to give away. But of course, it is time to welcome in our man for a Friday.
Throws it up long. Goal square. Treadray!
Warren Treadray.
The Premiership Cup to the captain, Warren Treadray.
Oh, Treadray! Party time!
On the 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, every Monday and every Friday, Warren Gary Treadray joins us. Welcome, Treaders. Love the surrounds, don't you?
Mate, why don't we do this every week?
Yes.
Barnsley's cooking up some mean-looking roast down there.
And some brisket.
And I'm going out to dinner after this.
Oh, just
I'm going to get a double serve.
You'll be right.
Yeah, get into it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Have you got weight loss is an issue for me. Can't do it.
Have you got a Weber?
Yes.
Yeah, God, it's my
They are
favourite
brilliant.
thing.
They are
Actually bought a cover when I walked in, didn't I?
You did?
It's
Yeah.
almost
25.
Don't do what I did, set and forget, and
No.
forgot a little too much.
Did you?
Yeah, my chicken was a bit black the other
Oh,
week.
no, that's not good.
Well,
Now,
Jono,
I'm into roasting the chickens, so instead of just like, so you cook up a couple of chickens and then that's school lunches.
Of course.
yes,
Or
yes.
snack hungry
Yeah,
chicken
yeah,
sandwich,
yeah.
chicken when you got 5 kids in the
Well,
house.
basically,
makes it
you're
hard.
running a mess hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
With
You
all
got
the
the
kids
Brady
going
Bunch.
through.
Jono, who's the producer for Jade Robin, who
Yeah,
does a terrific
yeah.
job in the afternoons,
He does.
bought in a snapper.
Oh,
5 kilo
right.
snapper for me, so it's in my boot
Unreal.
on ice.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, that's straight in the Weber.
Oh.
I thought you were going to chuck it in with
nice.
the beef in there now. That'd ruin it.
Oh, actually, I could do
Yeah.
that.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yes.
don't do
Stick
that.
out.
Don't
No,
do that.
Tom Jonas.
No.
Yes.
We had this chat on Monday, didn't we?
We did. We
and
did.
you flagged it, you two, and I thought,
Well,
"Genius."
Treaders was the man.
No
Well,
Tom Jonas.
I've actually got a little bit of goss. It's unconfirmed goss, but I heard Lockie Jones was set a bit of an incentive on the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, to
Play
say,
well.
hey,
Keep spot.
look who's coming back next week.
Yeah.
Fair
It's
call.
up to you. You've got a challenge. And I don't know if that's right or not, but
Jeez, he played like it.
Yeah.
He played like
against Dusty Martin too. That's what I was impressed about. He didn't worry about him. He took over. That's what I love about good defenders. They look to mark when it's there to mark. Not double fisting punch. I don't like that.
Oh, really?
You know I don't.
No.
Yeah,
I've seen him come through, as you know, through the Eagles with Mike Cobb. And I've loved this lad.
That's his spot.
It is his spot. Why they tried to play him as the high half forward pressure bloke. Certain players like the ball coming at him and they can run straight lines forward from the back.
He'll win you 10 games and might lose you a couple.
He doesn't
because he attacks the footy.
Right. He doesn't like turning around. He doesn't like turning around.
Correct.
He likes running straight. Byron Pickett style.
So I think for me that puts a question mark on Jonas, clearly, now. But then also, hey, unless your form continues, Elder State's out of contract end of the year. But that's a discussion for them, right? But reality is I love their backing the kids.
Yeah.
Absolutely backing the kids to say you played well. Put Butters in earlier in the season when things weren't working. Bang, now they're working. Amazing what people can do with an opportunity. So I really like that. Interesting one too. I also flagged on Monday, Josh Sin.
You did?
He's an emergency and is out of the Magpies team I'm seeing.
Is he going
Timmy,
for an experience
in
travelling?
Do I smell anything?
But I said the
travelling Adelaide Oval?
Well, last night I said that he be the sub. And the issue with that is, do you debut him as a sub?
But didn't he play against Hawthorn last year?
I don't know.
Josh Sin.
Has he played one game?
I reckon he played round 2 last year.
We'll check it out.
Hawthorn.
I thought he only played trial games and then got osteitis.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought.
I'm pretty sure he's debuted.
The thing for me is you can debut as a sub because you're going to play.
Yeah, you've got to play.
Is it ideal? No, because you'd rather play early.
Yeah.
But reality...
Okay, yeah, he did play v Hawthorn.
Did he?
Round 2. I'm positive he did.
Yeah, just the one game.
So that's okay.
So maybe this is the maker-upper after that
he
horrible
definitely will be sub then.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't see anybody else being sub.
No.
Well, I think the other one would be McAtee. Because two are out. Marshall's in, Mead is out, and McAtee's out.
No. Francis Evans.
Sorry, what am I doing? Evans is.
Francis Evans is out.
Evans
McAtee's
could,
not going anywhere.
Sorry, Evans could be the sub.
Yeah. Yes.
He could.
He has.
Normally
has been before, and so's Mead.
Yeah, because normally if one's in, or two's in and three's are dropped, or one will drop, you know what I mean? One of those will be the sub, but maybe Sin is the opportunity because if they saw what I saw with North versus Port Maggie's, Tyson Goldsack would have been pretty impressed with what he saw. He played a brilliant game of footy.
I've seen him play a couple of games this year, and he has been very impressive.
He is silky with the
I
left leg.
liked him before he got injured as well. So you know why I can't remember that game? I had COVID. I didn't call it. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, I did last year.
You were angry too. And when you're angry, you don't pick up on everything.
No, you're dead right.
No, that's true. Quinton Narkle.
Yeah, what do you think of the pickup?
I thought, what do they need? They don't need a small forward, but when they picked him up, I've seen some
He's
good...
more a midfielder, isn't he?
Yeah, but I've seen some good stuff with him at Geelong. He's had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Nearly played 50 games.
The other thing, too, is the question mark. Fantasia comes back in the Maggies this week. So is he the insurance? Rowey going okay, but he's not setting the world on fire.
No, you need pressure there. Francis Evans puts pressure on.
puts pressure on. So for me, you go, I don't mind it. You know, he's proven at the level. They looked at him in the off-season last year. A lot of teams looked at him in the off-season last year and didn't take him. I think it's great another player gets an opportunity, and he can play at the level. He just needs opportunity, and he needs to stay fit.
Treaders, we had a caller before you come in. You might have been listening on the way in because I know you're a keen listener, and he was saying, what about Poulter? He thought that.
I heard that. I was at the car park.
I knew you would be. See, I knew he's a keen listener. Now, he got picked up by the Bulldogs, but is a good player, and 6'4" is a good size as a player. Maybe that's something different that Port don't have.
Well, he got squeezed out. What was the reason he got squeezed out at Collingwood a few years ago? I know their salary cap was chockers, but he was a young player.
He's young. No, wouldn't be
but they must have picked up, I think they picked up with all those DeGoey getting flicked to the Bulldogs and whatever, they had to make, I reckon might even have to have made a certain amount of changes on their list where he was unlucky. But no one else touched him.
Not 17 other clubs didn't pick him up. I think he's a bit slow, is what they're probably thinking.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's
and
the
game is about speed.
That's
hey, can I go to...
I wasn't surprised Paul didn't touch him.
But Quinton Narkle, I still think he's a good player.
Absolutely. He's quick, he's good, he's good around goals, he wins plenty of footy.
He was probably the next best lad, and that's why they picked him up. Hawks round 2 last year smoked Port, we know that. It was the Russell Ebert tribute match. I think that's why Timmy was most annoyed. I had a look at that team. In that team, Carl Amon played. He's now at Hawthorn. Boakey's now injured, Dersma's injured, Georgiadis is injured, Tom Jonas is in the sample, so too Skinner and Mead. Motlop's retired, so there's 8 changes. So 8 changes from that team to now. What do all these, and I think the ins, tell a story about why Port's where they are? What can Farrell do?
Kick.
What can Williams do?
Kick.
What can Horn Francis do?
Everything.
Kick.
Yeah.
Well, everything.
Yeah.
What can
Apart from
Rioli do?
myself,
Oh, I can go on and on.
I know what you're saying. Better kickers.
You've got the 8 ins. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying you're never going to get Boakey back. You will, Georgiadis, Tom Jones, etc.
And a lot of those guys you mentioned are good kicks.
You are a bloody good kicking team now. And that shows.
I think the difference too, though, that's one thing. But the competitiveness is the change.
And they're competitive.
That's the
Williams
main
is
bit.
competitive. McIntyre's a competitor. Jones is a competitor. Horn Francis,
Even take them. Butters going in the midfield is a different competitor. It's a different look.
It's living on the edge.
Yeah, Rosie, that time last year, was not a midfielder.
No.
He took it to about, I reckon that.
Well, it's round 5. Round 5.
I reckon that was,
half time.
All of a sudden, So all of a sudden, now, the reason why you're different is because you put your 2 best young talents in the midfield and now they're all Australian stars.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you do? You put your best players around the ball? My coaches used to say that. That's why I was in the back pocket.
How do you win the game?
Never played back pocket.
No, you never did.
Nah. I was always on you.
Yeah.
You sat on my shoulders.
Well, you two are ready. Keep moving.
He is. Well, he's wandered off into some fantasy land when he said I was on his shoulders.
To be honest,
what did you fall over?
Boys, we're down at Weber here. And if you keep rambling, I'll just go and start eating. So keep it moving, please.
Are you happy Marshall straight in?
Oh, we had that discussion.
That as well.
We discussed the other day going how
he
many.
Had to.
I think they had to.
Structure-wise, it looks better with him there than Burton.
I expected him to, but I hope he comes in.
Your question was the two of them.
Yeah, the two puts. You can create a more and don't have to defend the forwards brigade because you want as many as you can. I'd play 6 key forwards if I could back in the day.
Okay.
But the reality is 2 gives you more pressure on the ground. 3 gives you less. If your midfield dominates like they have been, 3 gives you better opportunities for contest aerially, splitting, keeping out of each other's space and creating small opportunities for guys if you can crash it back.
Well, you're number 1 for tackles inside 50.
Yeah.
I mean, that creates
that's
spills,
exactly
that creates goals.
But last week's wet, greasy game, 3's not going to work for you.
No, that's right. And that's great. Horses for courses.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get a beautiful day tomorrow.
Hope so. Would you one?
23.
Oh, no, it's going to be glorious.
It's going to be glorious. So I reckon it'll be a very good day. You know what they say, weather fine, track fast.
Now, the Hawks, in the last 3 matches, are scoring over 100 points a game. Since round 8, they averaged 408 disposals, ranked number 1 in the competition. Playing on immediately, they ranked number 1 in the competition. And score from clearance differential, they're number 1 in the competition. Make no mistake, the last 3 weeks we're looking at a different Hawks.
Yeah,
forget that they're a bottom 6.
No, I agree, but you're looking at different Hawks tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sicily out. It's a massive outfit.
I agree.
He tightens their ship.
Yeah.
He's their best player, I think.
Oh, by far.
Yeah, I think we've got Nathan Bassett on later on. I am going to ask him the question about them because they're young and plucky at the moment. And where I think they're susceptible is they are going at a breakneck speed. And I think with the inexperience, they'll turn it over.
So
that's where Paul.
So is it 3 wins in a row or 2 wins in a row for the Hawks?
2.
Okay, so it's North Melbourne who are West Coast who are horrendous.
West Coast and then Saints.
And then they beat the Saints.
The Saints was a good win.
Yeah, but the Saints are starting to
definitely on the slide. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. Well, you're not convinced.
You
haven't
like
been convinced for a long time. He doesn't. No, he's off the Saints.
I was off about 7 weeks ago, wasn't I?
Well, they were competitive.
5. Yeah, 5 weeks ago, I think.
If you can't score, you can't win. Yeah, they cannot score, they don't score. They can't win. Plucky's not good enough. That was the Crows were last year. Competitive, had a crack, they scragged, they fought, they couldn't score.
Yeah, but
now they can.
Yeah. So if they can turn around, St Kilda certainly can.
Yeah, well, not this year.
No, maybe not.
All right, we're going to go to a break in a minute, Treaders, and when we do come back, I'm going to ask you some hard-hitting questions.
Oh.
You're going to give me any heads up, or are you just going to throw me straight under a bus?
No, tease him. Give him 1 tease.
1 tease, you reckon?
I think it's fair.
All right.
Because he
I don't want charity. I don't want charity. Cold turkey.
Good, cold turkey. Well done. That's the courage I like. Okay. Let's check your traffic first.
Got a few collisions to look out from the drive home. One at Campton Park, Morford Road near Carlton Road. Another crash at West Hindmarsh, South Road near Grange Road. And another collision at Keswick, Richmond Road near Marlow Road. Urgent sewer works are slowing things up on Glen Osmond Road at Parkside. That's just near Fullerton Road. And look out for cameras, Sir Donald Bradford Drive, Brooklyn Park, and the North-South Motorway at Waterloo Corner. Enjoy no joint fees and memberships from only $7.89 per week at Zap Fitness. Limited time only. Visit zapfitness.com.au. T's and C's apply. Available on select memberships. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. What makes an iconic South Australian business? It's a special combination showcased in 5AA's Best of SA.
You've heard of the Keralert Smart Dialer, a family-run business right here in SA. This device is the perfect way to provide your family with peace of mind and protect loved ones should an accident or illness occur. Over 100,000 people enjoy peace of mind with a Keralert Smart Dialer.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Maxima and Adelaide's 5AA.
If you're feeling unwell, you might be thinking of heading to the emergency department. But sometimes there's better ways to get better. For coughs and colds, a GP or respiratory clinic might be better. For minor cuts and grazes, you're better off at a pharmacy. And the emergency department is always there if you need it. Not sure what to do? Call Health Direct on 1800 022 222. For more info, visit sahealth.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
At Terrain Tamer, we've tried to take all the hard work out of four-wheel driving, so you can be an expert as well as an enthusiast. Our parts interpreters talk fluent four-wheel drive because we're talking with 50 years' experience. We've got all the four-wheel drive parts you'll ever need, so you can toss them in the back for cheap insurance. When you're miles from the closest mechanic, you'll appreciate that advice. Terrain Tamer, we talk fluent four-wheel drive.
Dream big, South Australia, because you could win big in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. The $4 million grand prize, just minutes from Adelaide CBD in leafy Melbourne, could be yours. Plus, there's a catalogue bursting with over 13,000 prizes, including luxury cars, holidays and cash. With a 1 in 15 chance of winning, get your tickets today. Join the fight. To see full details, visit homelottery.com.au. Licence M14364.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. When you buy your seafood from Kirkbride Seafood, you're as good as buying it straight off the boat. Kirkbride Seafood, Duthy Street, Unley, kirkbrideseafood.com.au.
Hurry into Ranella Mazda. We're stocked with CX-5 and CX-9 ready for immediate delivery. No reasonable offer will be refused. CX-5 and CX-9 stock must be cleared. Just 25 minutes from the CBD. Only at Ranella Mazda. LVD 152780.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Now more than ever, you need an agent who's not just out for a quick sale. You need someone who can stand their ground to ensure you're maximising your home's potential. There's a good reason Toop and Toop is defying market trends and continuing to deliver premium outcomes for its clients. With a history spanning almost 40 years and a team of unrivaled experience, Toop and Toop knows what it takes to maximise your results in any selling conditions. Visit toop.com.au to find out more.
You don't have to jump on a plane to find pals from around the world, or even leave the airport. Parafield Airport Liquor Store has thousands of pals in a huge old airport hangar. So maybe their pals are whiskies from Scotland, Ireland and Japan, but that's just some of their pals. With over 300 craft beers, 500 whiskies and over 2,000 wines. New pals from around the world are closer than you think. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Pals, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
12 minutes to 5. We still have those Port Locker Room tickets to give away, and Andy Harper and Nathan Cosmina, after a glittering night for our Reds, they'll join us very shortly, but we're joined by Warren Treadray.
We certainly are, and we love it down here at the Weber Store Adelaide, the Barbecue Weber Store. Isaac Rankin's playing Gold Coast for the first time, as Carl Amon is playing against Port for the first time. Here's Matty Nix.
We haven't spoken about it, he and I haven't heard a lot of the players talk through it. You know, it's another game of footy. I know our guys will be there for him. He's playing some great footy at the moment. I've got no doubt he'll look forward to that challenge.
It's not just another game of footy.
No,
we three don't know because we stayed at the one club, but it's more than just that. There'll be cheers and boos.
Yeah,
and
but
all
any
sorts.
time someone left your team to go to an opposition,
you want to knock them out.
Exactly right. So we've experienced
but you can't
it
now.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no,
but not on that side of
what
the
I'll say
fence.
about Rankin, I must admit, and kudos to him, he's always been a hell of a talent, right?
Yeah.
He's had inconsistencies in his game.
He's starting to iron them out.
He comes with a massive fee of front-loading over $1 million for the first year, but that levels out. But he's on average of $800,000, right? He's on massive money. He has been better and more consistent than I could have thought he'd be in his first year. He's been superb.
Oh, God, I
like
love
the numbers
his game
he's
last week.
getting, like last week, he's plus 20 disposals. He's having 5 shots on goal a week.
3 goal assists, number one in the AFL.
He's been phenomenal, and it's just amazing how much happiness can flow through again.
Yeah.
When we talk about that.
Yeah.
You know, everyone wants to talk about money and years and who's going where and what's going. Well, sometimes people just crave happiness.
Yeah. Well, Paddy Dangerfield going home.
Exactly.
Jeremy Cameron back to Geelong.
Yeah.
You know, it's more than just the club, the culture and winning.
Mate, Francis.
It is about being happy.
Horn Francis.
He's playing better.
He's
My
just
word.
happy.
So I've come on board with that a bit now that I've lived it a little bit with James in an AFL environment and seeing that, and then maybe maturing a little bit. Like I'm a one team, one dog, one bone. Don't move on. You stay there forever, and the club's more important than you. And you pass through it. And you're a custodian and all that. But I think you're right.
And
happiness does amount for a lot
and
now.
to be honest, what happens with all that is happiness.
That's right.
Because if you're not happy, you're not starting your career at Nord, or maybe you'll always
starting to
but you know what I
mature.
mean? Like, I think that way of thinking, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but it's archaic in a way with the modern professional era.
Yep.
Because our clubs are quick to cut. I've always had this theory. Clubs are quick to say fall out of love with you, as opposed to you fall out of love with them if you're a very loyal person. And I just love the fact that he's been able to come home to the club he supported. And unfortunately, he's playing bloody well.
Yeah.
But there was an old saying: the club's bigger than the individual.
Absolutely
Does
true.
that still?
It always true.
Do you think that still happens today, Timmy?
It is, but we're in a completely different zone now as far as where Treaders is going about.
Because of money?
Because of money. Yeah,
absolutely. But do you think that changes the on-field expectations? I don't.
I
get
there's
the
a lot
pressure is outside.
I think there's a lot of examples of players going to another club because the number was bigger and probably regretting it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Polak's one.
Mate, Chad Wingard's probably one.
Chad Wingard's one.
It hasn't, injury and form and changing of coach, all that hasn't worked. But I'm still a believer no matter where you are, the club is bigger than the individual.
Good.
And if you think you're
I agree
bigger
with
than
that.
the club, you're kidding yourself.
Yeah, well played.
done.
I did say before the break, and
Yeah,
I was
what was
howled
his
down
question?
by
No, you
you
teased.
two.
No, but
Howled
I
I don't reckon you had the question.
No, I don't.
No,
think you do.
I had it.
Did you?
I was howled down, and I'm going to ask that hard-hitting question right now.
Because people have waited in their cars. They could have gone in and got a Pirate Life or come into the Weber store.
There's
so this would want to be good. You don't tease something and then it comes out limp.
There's families.
Can
in,
you hurry
in
up? Because I can smell the food.
Okay, here we go. So can I.
Families in drive-thrus refusing to place their order until they hear this question.
I thought you didn't say drive-through cinemas because they're long gone, Timmy.
This is going to end in tears.
No, look, this is serious. Last week, I just wanted to ask your opinion on a premiership teammate of yours who finished up coaching Richmond and then posted a photo of himself sitting on the couch with a beer.
I do like this one.
I want to know
what you
Come on.
I want to know what you thought of that look. I can give you my opinion, but
I want yours first.
I think from what I saw of it, I thought it was fun and all that. The fact it was 10,
you know him
10 in the
better.
morning. Yeah, dim as a ripper. 10 in the morning.
Was it 10 in the morning?
I'm just saying 10 in the morning sounds bad. That he's having a stubby at 10 in the morning.
Oh, God.
And still wearing his affiliate top. But maybe he did it because he felt bad because he left.
you reckon that's the motivation?
I don't know.
Okay.
So how did you feel, Timmy?
I thought if it was me, I would have gone completely underground for a year.
I was surprised when I saw it.
So he's left a year and a half on his contract. He's left a club that's in the bottom 6.
With, 11 games to
As
go
a
at that
three-time
stage?
premiership coach, you think he's left them in the lurch?
Not in the lurch, but I just think that with 11 games to go, I wouldn't think having a beer and smiling when they've still got to get on with the job, I don't know that for me, was what I would have done personally.
If you're a die-hard Club First Richmond person, you could have been annoyed at it.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm not uptight with it is because he's won
you know him.
3 flags.
And you know him.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and I know
get
him.
that. And I get the
he's
sense
a
of
joker
humour.
in the sense
I get
of
the
humour
sense
and
of
all
humour,
that. But I agree how it wouldn't sit well with everyone.
For me, there's a timing and all these things. it's
Too
one of those
soon.
things. Yeah, it's a bit too soon.
Yeah.
I'd have just put that one away and gone. Yeah. I thought about it, and then I thought no. It's a bit like I say, don't text angry or don't tweet angry. That's for sure. You know, keep those when you got all that emotion in you, just hold it. And I reckon at that stage, it wasn't the time for a gag.
Just don't have social media, full stop.
And that's
Like
another
me.
good piece of advice.
And for a bloke who doesn't like social media,
Mm.
are we now seeing the emergence of a new media career, Tim?
Oh, hello.
Oh, with who? With Damien?
Yeah, could
No,
be.
he'll coach again.
He'll coach
Well,
again.
if you listen to everything that Caroline Wilson's saying,
if
he's coaching the Gold
well,
Coast Suns.
Well, if the Seven Network have brought in a Michael Voss, every analyst, for the finals, wouldn't a semi-retired Damien Hardwick as a finals analyst
would be awesome.
Be a massive get
Oh,
or
massive.
Foxtel for the current final series?
All
which
of
is
that,
upcoming.
I've got no problems with, no dramas whatsoever. I just thought that moment, that photo.
No one just texted now.
Hold.
Dimmer,
Yeah.
sorry you've annoyed
Timmy
too
said-
soon for Timmy.
Timmy said hold.
But can I say something about that? We
Just
don't give
piece
a
of
flying,
advice.
you know, what about that? Because Dimmer's never come on the show with us.
Never?
No.
Ever.
No, apparently.
He's the
I
one
don't
coach
know.
I've never interviewed.
I didn't ask him.
Well,
Why would you think?
Well, how about you ask him?
Oh, hello.
No,
there we
no,
go.
it's your show.
Well,
I
hang
know
on.
you're handballing your problems.
Hang on. We don't care anymore
Is
because
it
he's no longer the coach.
Is it reflection of you?
Probably. Probably.
Has he got a little axe to grind
is
from
like-
back in the day?
Well,
This is a finger-pointing session.
Hang on, I never played on here.
He just pointed at me.
You pointed at me.
Oh, here we
No, I
go
didn't.
again.
Don't call me Shirley.
I'm pointing.
You know,
Surely.
I think it's his new haircut.
Oh, I think I might have hit a nerve.
He's
Do you
got,
like
he's-
it?
He's got angry with
I've
it.
got a 3 through the hair. We might see
3?
it on the Foodland.
It's a 6.
I think
No, it's a 3.
Bro, if you don't
Because I've got a
mind.
thick thatch.
We-
I walked in and Barnesy goes, Rowey, did you go down to TAFE and get your hair cut? There was a day
The apprentices.
in my Norwood days where I did.
Yeah, see? It's true. I just do want to give a little plug to Sports Card World. They released your footy card today.
And yours.
And we spoke about mine last week. Yours has now been signed, so it's available.
Unbelievable. Love
I've
it.
done a marvellous job. And he's got the same haircut.
Yeah. How big's your chin on there?
Oh, massive.
Is it?
Because I was a lot lighter. So it accentuated the
And your
chin.
mullet? You got
And
the mullet?
No, I got the mullet.
How long?
I mean, it's
My son Nate's rolling with the mullet, and
no,
it's
it's
like
not long.
thick.
Mine
it's
was
like it needs a
He's a
trim.
beautiful
Mine was your
kid, your
classic
boy.
80s mullet.
But can
where it
I
was
just say, can we do a competition who can sell the most? Get down to the store.
You just buy them up so you win.
Yeah, that's another good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alan Rowe purchased 250 sets.
Thanks, Dave.
You get a bag of dog food with every
Dimmer
one of them.
Hardwick's going to use his $1 million to get you your sticky, don't worry.
Actually, he's in town at the moment. Trittis, thanks for that. Hang around because we've got all our footy people here for the a mid-year review, and we're going to interview you, and we're going to get some good juicy stuff from you. So thanks.
Turn the recorders off.
3 minutes to 5. We'll get to the news. Adam Kelly from the Crows next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
I like to call it a passion. I can be sitting relaxing. I'm spending this holiday locked in. Back then, wasn't worried about me though. In the gym, trying to work on my free throw. Oof. What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in.
The new Kia Seltos. That's what's poppin'. And yeah, it's got options. The new Kia Seltos. The word is out.
Brand new whip, just hopped in.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
This doesn't sound like a conference. This doesn't sound like a work trip. And this doesn't sound like team building. Because corporate events sound different with Discovery Events. With amazing venues in special places across Australia, including in the Adelaide Hills, Victor Harbour, Nagambie Lakes, Kings Canyon and Rottnest Island. Sound good? Visit discoveryevents.com.au, your destination for premier venues in unique locations across Australia.
Bula! Fiji Airways is on sale now, so get ready for an extraordinary adventure with awesome deals. Fly Adelaide to San Francisco or LA return, no checked baggage from just $1,115, or check one bag for $1,325. That includes taxes. Don't miss this opportunity to embark on an unforgettable journey with loved ones. Book now at FijiAirways.com. Conditions apply.
Ray White, big name in real estate, but also the biggest name in business broking. What makes us big? Our people, like Brett Buckley and his team. MBA, lecturer, and multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year. Brett doesn't just read a P&L, he feels it. If you're selling or expanding your business, Brett can take your business apart and find you more money. And we're not talking small change. Go on, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA.
The Royal Flying Doctor Service will be landing in your letterbox soon. Expect to learn about all the incredible things they do to help all South Australians, including those of us who live in Adelaide. It could be a heart attack, motor vehicle or farming accident. It could be helping a mum deliver a premature baby. Without the Royal Flying Doctor Service, they'd have to go it alone. For the people and the life you love, keep the Flying Doctor flying. Please show your support and donate today. Visit flyingdoctor.org.au.
The locavore forages not so far and wide to source the finest local ingredients for a sensational feast. They barely leave a carbon footprint because they're leaving long supply chains behind and buying straight from the producers. And the locavore knows the finest place to gather is the Adelaide Showground Farmers Market.
Welcome. Become a locavore at the Adelaide Showground Farmers Market every Sunday morning, 8:30am to 12:30pm. Enter via Rose Terrace.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow, 23. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. Another development today in the Hawthorn racism saga. The 4 complainants have formally lodged a claim with the Human Rights Commission. A man has been arrested after a police chase through the metro area, ending in the eastern suburbs. A Mitsubishi Lancer failed to stop for patrols on Hanson Road at Woodville North mid-morning. It was then spotted travelling on the wrong side of the road and running red lights as it's made its way through Brompton onto West Terrace before finally stopping at Burnside thanks to spiked tyres. The 33-year-old driver was arrested without incident. The car was reported to be involved in a collision with a taxi on Port Road at Theberton. The Prime Minister says he doesn't want to comment on the Ben Roberts-Smith case, given further legal action may be possible. Australia's most decorated soldier has lost his defamation case against 9 newspapers, which found he committed war crimes. Roberts-Smith has resigned from his role as an executive with the 7 Network following the verdict. Speaking from Singapore, where he's attending a defence conference, Mr Albanese has been cautious in his response to the issue.
And it would be inappropriate to comment on the detail of that, given the potential that is then there for future action that the government might be a party to.
The minimum wage will rise for millions of low-paid workers, but it could also lead to another interest rate spike. Michael Packey has more.
The Fair Work Commission has determined most workers on the minimum wage will receive a pay increase of 5.75% from July. Workplace Relations Minister Tony Burke says it'll help with cost of living pressure.
The best outcome that we have ever had for workers.
Economist Warren Hogan from Judo Bank argues the move will put more pressure on inflation, meaning further interest rate hikes are likely.
You sort of can't have your cake and eat it too.
The new minimum wage will rise just above $45,300 a year.
Adelaide and Perth have the worst rental vacancy rates of all capital cities in the nation. Domain's rental vacancy rate report for May shows the national rate increased to 0.09%. But Domain Chief Economist Dr Nicola Powell says Adelaide fell to a near record low of 0.3% and Perth remains steady at 0.4%.
So that means that for a tenant new to the Perth and Adelaide rental market, it is like trying to find a needle in a haystack when it comes to finding an empty rental.
Former Test cricketer Stuart MacGill has been cleared of the intimidation charges against him. The 52-year-old pleaded not guilty to stalking and verbally intimidating his friend's former fiancée. The magistrate said her claims were totally inconsistent with witness evidence and CCTV footage. Now turning to 5AA's sport, and Port trained today ahead of tomorrow's home clash against Hawthorn. The Power welcoming back Todd Marshall for round 12, but Charlie Dixon will have to wait another week as he recovers from a quad issue. Crow Brodie Smith is back in the side for tomorrow night's clash against the Gold Coast, along with Mitch Hinge. Round 12 kicks off tonight at the MCG. It's Melbourne v Carlton, and the game will be live on 5AA. Boxer Tim Tszyu has dismissed talk the fight against Mexican Carlos Ocampo will be postponed. The 28-year-old required 26 stitches in his arm after being mauled by a friend's dog last weekend. But Tszyu says it's all systems go, just over 2 weeks out from the bout on the Gold Coast.
It was a little bit of a distraction, not ideal to go into surgery 3 weeks before a fight, but man, whatever. I just want to get it on now. You know, there's a dog in me right now that's about to come out.
The NBA Finals series is underway with Denver taking Game 1 against the Miami Heat 104-93. And Max Purcell has bowed out of the French Open, leaving Thanasi Kokkinakis as the only Aussie left in the draw. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Dry Creek, look out for a car fire there, Port Wakefield Road near Cavan Road. Coolburn crash, Churchill Road near the Churchill Centre, and Camden Park another collision, Morford Road near Carlton Road. Busy Glenburn Road at Kensington Road, with cameras on the drive home, Phillip Highway Elizabeth South, and Port Road at West Hindmarsh. Menu Log is now delivering groceries and more. For those midweek top-up shops and forgotten items, you can now order on Menu Log and get delivery within the hour. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Mostly clear tonight, down to 13. Partly cloudy tomorrow, 23. Sunday, a shower or two developing, 20. Monday, a shower or two and 20. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
The call for help that got a callous answer and ended with a police shooting. Hear the audio that will shock you. Emotional tributes for a war veteran killed when his motorbike crashed in the Adelaide Hills. Millions of Australians set for a pay rise, how much you'll get, plus the plan to get local school kids eating healthier. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 6 after 5. It's Footy Friday for Rusden Wines. You can watch along on the Foodland live stream, Facebook and YouTube. We're down at Barbecue Adelaide Weber store today at Mile End. Coming up on the program, Nathan Bassett from the Port Adelaide Footy Club shortly. Andy Harper and Nathan Cosmina, Adelaide United. Big night for them at the medal count. We still have Port locker room tickets to give away, Tim, and Terry McAuliffe with some tips.
Okie dokie, well, Crows are in Darwin. They've got what we're calling an 8-pointer. Well, I didn't call it that. B. Smith did yesterday. It's first the Suns tomorrow night.
No doubt.
Joining us is their GM of footy, Adam Kelly. Kells, welcome.
Afternoon, Rowey and Tim. Hope you're both well.
Yeah, same with you. How was the flight? Have you acclimatised? I know the boys are getting ready for the captain's run. Where are you at?
We have just arrived at the ground. So we landed in Darwin about 20-30 minutes ago. Just arrived at the ground and the boys are just getting changed, getting ready for captain's run. So all looks in really good order. Ground looks magnificent.
Okay, we're hearing Cook, the travelling emergency. We're hearing Ned's the sub, and the changes were as they were. So no late changes you don't expect till Saturday?
No late changes. No, all set, no late change.
Yeah. You're both off a great win in the context of the year. It's an 8-point game, isn't it? This is massive, girls.
Yeah, well, I think for any team that's sort of in that middle part of the ladder and the win-loss ledger is around that 50-50 mark, all these games are critically important with eye on the end of the season. So that's certainly the case for us. We come off what was a wonderful win last week, but we faced an opponent that's had a really good record up here in Darwin and been playing some really impressive footy. So it's going to be a significant challenge, and I guess, as you've said, in the context of the season, that's a really important one for us.
They've been up there for 2 weeks. They've been able to acclimatise. They've had a game up there. It is different conditions. Forget the humidity. It's the slippiness of the ball and the deck and the conditions. Last week you played in the wet and did well. So, I mean, it doesn't hold any fears.
No, and I think, well, strangely, I guess we're anticipating the same sort of conditions as what we did last week with respect to how slippery the ball may be, but it's going to be 30 degrees temperature. So we got a good look at it last week. We also obviously analysed heavily the game between the Suns and the Bulldogs, and it was somewhat of a wet weather style, a lot of surge footy, not a lot of marks being taken, and we anticipate that'll be again the case tomorrow night.
Yeah, checked out the weather. I think around about that 70% humidity by the time you play. So, yeah, it'll probably be on the deck more so than up in the air, mate. Hey, tough selection week, but that depth is a good issue.
Yeah, it was really tough. And I guess not for the first time this year, we've omitted some players who've been in really good form at AFL level. And to the credit of all of our high-performance staff, we've only got 4 on our injury list at the moment. So, really tough decisions being made. There's a lot of guys who are pushing at sample level, and to the credit of the squad, the attitude's been terrific. We know that when we call on players, they've had an ability to perform immediately at AFL level, which was the case with Josh Worrell last week, and disappointingly for him, he goes out of the team, but we welcome back Brodie Smith and Mitch Hinge into the lineup, who were in really good form before their layoff last week. So, yeah, it's a tough position for them to be in, but one they're all embracing and they're all putting their best foot forward.
And Neddy McHenry just plays that sub-role too well. He keeps getting it.
Yeah, well, I guess Ned's that type of player who brings a whole lot of energy whenever he takes to the field, and he has played really well in that role, and it's obviously a tough role to play when you're not sure when you're going to be injected into the game, but he's been able to handle that well in the past, and we love the energy he's going to bring once he does get onto the field.
And James Borlace, I've watched just about his whole season because I was involved with the Sample State team and been watching all the Sample games. I reckon he's having a breakout season. Is he anywhere near the mix?
Yeah, well, he was particularly strong last week. Enjoyed a really good game, and in the early part of the year, he was really putting his name up. So, look, it's one of those ones that, when we've got the strong performances that we have had at AFL level, and especially with our key defenders, it's hard to crack into the team at the moment. But he's certainly improved a hell of a lot in his 3 years on the list, and been putting his best foot forward. And so, as long as he can keep doing that, and an opportunity might arise.
I know Isaac Rankin reasonably well. It's his first game against his old club. I think he'll thrive with that. It's good that it's up there because it won't be at the Gold Coast and any booing. Not that it'd even worry him. He'd probably lap it up. How do you think he'll attack playing his old team, the Isaac Kells?
Yeah, look, he's certainly shown this year that he can handle the big occasion. I know last week he was up against an opponent that had a fairly good record against him, and he was close enough to our best player last weekend. So it's not something that we've put any attention into. And it's not certainly anything that I think will cause Isaac any great concern. We look forward to, I'm sure that he'll get a bit of ribbing from his former teammates. Yeah. But he's in wonderful form. He's enjoying a terrific season, and he's been able to show his absolute brilliance on a number of occasions this year, and hopefully they'll continue tomorrow night.
Yeah, he's a joy to watch. Rory Laird, were you confident? You got him off. It was 17-0 when you walked in, and then it was 17-1, and then you made it 17-2.
Yeah, look, I don't think you can ever be confident when it comes to going to the tribunal. I think history would show that you're about a 1 in 5, 1 in 6 chance once you do decide to challenge. We went in there with obviously a belief that we had a strong argument to mount, and we understand the attention that's now gone on to the dangerous tackle, and for good reason. It's protecting player health and safety, and they're going to have to try and find a line throughout the year as to what is acceptable and what isn't, and that's why we're seeing so many cases be charged. But hopefully over the course of the year we get a bit more clarity on what the expectations on players will be moving forward, and I think that maybe with a couple of decisions last week we start to get a little bit closer to what the line may be when it comes to acceptability.
Hey Adam, Guy Sebastian, he was in the rooms, had his kids there singing the song, you name it. Did he get in the middle because he likes centre stage?
Yeah, it's been good to have Guy around this year. He's partnering with the club on some work we're doing with our community and foundation, and he's obviously a passionate supporter of the club and one of our ambassadors. So I think a few of the boys are a bit starstruck. You think that the AFL players are stars, but when somebody who's got global appeal walks into your change room, so I think it gets taken to a whole new level. I know our coach was fairly enamoured with him, so it was a bit hard to get him to concentrate on the game earlier in the year. I think he wanted to spend the rest of the evening with guys. So, no, it's terrific. Wonderful supporter of the club, and it's good that we're entering into a partnership with him through our community and foundation.
Sounds great. Awesome. Just on another note, the AFLW, the squad's been put together. I think they had their first training session. How's all that come together?
Yeah, good. To the credit of our female players, they've been, whilst pre-season started this week, their off-season's been significant. We've often seen them coming along the West Lakes and in readiness for the pre-season. They're in really good order, and I think we had pretty well everyone back for day one. So, they're very excited about the year ahead. We've also got a really strong squad and believe that we can challenge again this year, and looking forward to that kicking off in late August.
I've heard they're training full-time for the whole year. Is that right, the AFLW Crows girls?
No, we're training full just on a Friday. So
on a Friday, that's what I mean.
Yeah. So full time on Fridays, and the rest of the sessions will be in their more regular slot, which is in the evening. So.
Okay. How are you going with Taylor Walker's contract? You ready to announce it?
Look, we've deliberately held off discussions until the bye, and we're not far away from that now. So that'll pick up in earnest once we get through the game against West Coast next week.
Okay, and Tom Dudo, they say after round 11, if they're a free agent, they're not going to sign?
Yeah, I don't think that's always been the case, and Tom's certainly got 100% buy-in with the group, and he's a very important player to us. So hopefully we can work through that. But as free agency determines, they've got the ability to negotiate. And we'll continue to work through that one.
And the last one's Rory Berger. I've just been amazed at, you do an E, I've done one. It's a good year and a half. Crikey, he's just a warrior, isn't he? And I know the boys look up to him.
Yeah, look, his determination to return was immediate. When that night he entered himself against the Tigers, it didn't take him long to really set out what he wanted to achieve. He wanted to be there in round one of this year. He's worked incredibly hard, and he's still having a significant impact on our games and our performances. So it's a real credit to him. He's I think it's a great example for his teammates as to how you go about tackling rehabilitation, and he's such an important player on and off the field for us, and continues to be so.
7 and 5 kills for me is a lot more sweeter than 6-6. You're up to your eyeballs tomorrow night. I can't wait to call it. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see these boys step up for another test. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, gents. See ya.
Well done. Adam Kelly there, GM of footy up there in Darwin. Big game tomorrow. Suns live and local on 5AA.
All right, 17 after 5. Before we get to the break, there's some breaking news coming out of the Herald Sun around the Hawthorn investigation, which is starting to really build up now. And it reads on the Herald Sun, the families at the centre of the league's deal on the Hawthorn racism scandal have released an explosive statement and revealed themselves for the first time, describing their 8-month ordeal, in quotes, a shit show none of them deserved. Premiership star Cyril Rioli, wife Shannon R. Sam Rioli, Carl Peterson, Jermaine Miller-Lewis and Life Montana, and former Hawks staffer Leon Egan say they have been gutted not to have had their stories heard by those at the centre of harrowing allegations. They're adamant that the 3 former Hawks staffers at the heart of their claims are anything but exonerated. We'll keep you abreast of this, but that's all coming out as we speak.
That is awful. First thoughts, if they are still hurting, our first thought needs to be with them. And it is from me, because I get it and I understand that. For them to now be made public, that shows the seriousness of it. Not that it wasn't before. It also shows the kangaroo court that was the Hawthorn investigation to an AFL investigation that is clearly flawed. I hope they get their piece of what they're after. Clearly it's not money. It must be an apology. I can't speculate on that. But that now has just risen it another level, and that blue flame Bunsen burner goes straight back under Clarkson, Fagan and Bert's butts.
It goes on to read, the group, which is adamant it never asked for money, say they are determined to ensure the truths that they don't want to hear are heard.
Oh,
19 minutes after 5, we'll check
Wow.
the traffic. Nathan Bassett from Port Adelaide next.
There's a crash to look out for at Vista, Lower North East Road near Range Road South. Dry Creek, Car 5 Airport, Wakefield Road near Cavan Road, while at Kilburn, another crash, Churchill Road near Gladstone Avenue. Slow going at the moment, Richmond Road at South Road, with cameras Phillip Highway, Elizabeth South, and Port Road at West Hindmarsh. This weekend only at Amart, take a further 20% off when you buy 4 or more items across lounges, living, dining and bedroom furniture. T's and C's apply. Offers end Sunday at Amart. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. What makes an iconic South Australian business? It's a special combination showcased in 5AA's Best of SA.
Alpha Industries are your local experts in creating space outdoors, verandas, carports, sheds and more. After almost 40 years, Alpha Industries can build almost anything you can think of out of Australian blue scope steel. See their display centres at 712 South Road, Glandore or 12 Stock Road, Cavan, or visit alphaindustries.com.au.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Maxima and Adelaide's 5AA.
That feeling you get when you know nothing stands in your way. That's what it's like to drive the all-new Amarok. Built tough from the ground up, the all-new Amarok takes everything to the max. The all-new Amarok has impressive levels of new technology, premium exterior and interior styling, and exceptional standards of comfort. When you drive a ute maxed out like this, there's nothing you can't do. Book your test drive now at Dutton's Mount Barker. duttonsvw.com.au.
Dutton's.
Easy to do business with.
We're here with Toop and Toop's Bronte manual. Now, Bronte, we've just been hit with another interest rate rise. What does that mean to the market?
Well, we always knew there'd be another rate rise or two. If rates settle around that 6% mark for the consumer, buyers will know exactly where they stand and will be able to pursue properties with some confidence.
But what does that mean then for property prices?
The market, it's all about supply and demand. And right now, there are a lot more buyers than homes for sale. While that's still the case, there's a great opportunity to achieve a premium price for your home.
So would you say now's a good time to sell, or should we wait a bit?
It's always a good time to sell when demand outweighs supply. Right now, buyers are competing for your home rather than your home competing for buyers. But you still need to make sure you're working with an agent who really knows their stuff.
To find out what your home is worth in the current market, visit toop.com.au.
Yeah, Rusden Wines, it's now an Adelaide icon. I'm going to call it an Australian icon and a Southern Hemisphere icon. That's how big it is. It's in the Barossa Valley. They're a generous family. They are a great family, and do they make great wines? They've got a Rusden Wine family that boasts 7 generations of the grape growing experience. They've got that down, pretty much down to pat. They've got an ideal climate up there. The dirt is unbelievable, and that's why they can produce quality wines through Christian, their chief winemaker, who is a legend. He will canute you, and if you go up there, you'll have the best fun. Don't worry about that. They're quality wines, and trust me, you won't be disappointed. Whether it's the Boundaries, it's a Cab Sav, whether it's a Black Guts, which is my favourite, whether it's the Sand Scrub, Top of the Tree, a Ripper Creek, I could go on and on and on. I took Jodie there on the weekend, I think it was Saturday, and she tried the rosé that's just out. Unbelievable. So there's something for everyone, and I know it's a great time because footy's back, which means it's red season. But whether it's a rosé, a white, whatever it is, they've got everything for you. Go and see Christian and the team. They're just terrific. And if you've got an interstate guest, you'll have a great time because they will look after you. Make your next red a Rusden. Check out rusdenwines.com.au.
A shock absorber, CV joint, or maybe a bearing kit. It may seem like just a four-wheel drive part, but open it up and you'll find so much more. Each Terrain Tamer four-wheel drive part is the culmination of 50 years of experience. Every break, every lesson, every setback far from home strengthens everything we do. So when you break down miles from home and you drag out our number, you'll know you're in safe hands. That's the Terrain Tamer connection, and it comes free with every part.
If you're feeling unwell, you might be thinking of heading to the emergency department. But sometimes there's better ways to get better. For coughs and colds, a GP or respiratory clinic might be better. For minor cuts and grazes, you're better off at a pharmacy. And the emergency department is always there if you need it. Not sure what to do? Call Health Direct on 1800 022 222. For more info, visit sahealth.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
24 minutes after 5, 5AA's Best of SA is all about celebrating and profiling some of the great brands in our state. And today, we are celebrating Varna Care for your chance to win a $100 voucher to Escape Hunt, thanks to Varna Care, and 2 tickets to our Best of SA dinner, which is at Adelaide Oval, Friday 16th of June. You can give us a call now, 8223 0055. Varna Care, give human first disability care as natural as spending time with a friend. Google Varna Care.
Thank you very much. Port Adelaide taking on the Hawks this Saturday, 1:15 p.m. Should be a cracker. We got the backline coach on the line, Nathan Bassett. G'day, Bass. Hey, mate, the young Hawks, they like to link up with their fast hands and they like to really play on quickly, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They've certainly been throwing the ball around and they've been creating lots of scoring opportunities. And, you know, in some ways teams have been lucky they haven't taken them so far. They've probably missed more than most, but, you know, they've played some good footy.
Certainly have. Hey, mate, in your area, Dan Houston, what do you reckon the area is that he's improved in the most? He's having a stellar year.
I don't think it's necessarily that significant an improvement in terms of what he's doing. It's more the role that he's been given at the moment that sort of allows him to shine that little bit more. So, you know, he's probably played more that Darcy Byrne-Jones role this season, and you know, his ability to look after the back of a stoppage and then link up in general play has been exceptional.
And another one, Kane Farrell, the work he's done on some of the small forwards has been very good. Would you like to perhaps see him just maybe get a few more entries inside 50 with his leg?
I mean, last week he had probably his best game playing in defence. I think he had 23 and cleaned up ground balls really nicely, and I thought his work from, you know, the transition from offence to defence and back again was excellent. So, you know, I think we've seen some good growth with Kane the last 2 weeks. You know, he's been getting better as a defender, and probably for us as coaches, maybe just lowering our expectations a little bit on the amount of time he's going to touch the footy, and know that, you know, probably that row back from the high defenders, he does a really good job on smaller people.
Yeah.
Best Tom Jonas left out. How did that discussion roll?
Yeah, I've been chatting with Tom for a little while. I mean, we've got you know, a relatively deep group of defenders, and there's a couple of younger ones in there that have been doing a really good job. I mean, Tom's played okay this year without, you know, being exceptional. I think he's, you know, still defended quite well, but there's been more the depth and what the other guys have been able to do around him that challenged his position. And, you know, this week, you know, I'm sure he'll put his best step forward to get back into the side and play good footy in the SNFL.
Travis Boak, I can't remember the last time he missed 2 games in a row. He must be sore. Do you think this will be it? He'll be back next week? What's his status?
He'll be back this year. No, I don't know. It's one of those ones where...
That's good news.
I think it'll be sooner than that, but, you know, he's sort of listed as a test most weeks. But, you know, probably he won't be far away. Yeah, I can't say it'll definitely be next week, but he won't be far away.
Okay. And Charlie's the last one. Sounds like it's worse than first thought. This will be his 4th week out. He last played in round 8. What's happened there?
Oh, it was that little quad injury, which they weren't sure how significant it was. He still, you know, if we were desperate this week, he would be able to play.
Okay.
You know, when he trained yesterday, and you know, which I think it was the St Kilda game where we were desperate, and he did put his hand up. I think he's moving about as well as that at the moment. But we'd expect him to be going a little bit better next week, and, you know, it gives Ollie Lord another chance to play AFL footy with Charlie sitting out this week, and it probably helps Todd settle in a bit more with his role too as a forward.
Awesome. The mid-season draft got Quinton Narkle. Everybody excited there?
Yeah, he's played some good footy at Geelong, and you know, he's in really good physical condition. We think he can play a bit of mid, a bit of high forward, and, you know, add some polish and some experience both to our AFL side and our SNFL side if needed.
And I was reading yesterday, young Bryn Teakle has hurt his foot. How long do you expect him to be on the sidelines?
Yeah, he's in a boot, so he's got a little crack in his navicular.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a while. there's a chance to play again this year. He's actually done his other navicular before. So, this is the other foot now. So, he had a pretty good game on the weekend against North, and his follow-up work was good. So, it's a shame for Bryn, but, hopefully can get himself in good condition and play the back end of the year.
And some good news for Orazio Vantagic. They're going to head out for the Maggies tomorrow?
Yeah, there's some good ins for the Maggies on Sunday this week.
Yeah.
So, it's nice to get some experience back, and most of our guys on the park at the moment, minus a couple of the older guys in Charlie and Trav. But, it's good to have him back out there. Hopefully he can string together some good footy, because his best is, top-end AFL quality, and it'd be pretty handy to have that walk back into the AFL side.
Now we look forward to that on Sunday, and we look forward to the big game tomorrow against the Hawks on Saturday at Adelaide Oval. All the best with the record-breaking 9 in a row, Bass.
Thank you.
Well Cheers, mate. Thanks for your time.
Fantastic.
Nathan Bassett. Good man.
Our guest. Let's head to the 5:30 headlines. We're going to talk some A-League next with Andy Harper and Adelaide United CEO Nathan Cosmina.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
Joe Biden had a fall whilst handing out the final diploma at a graduation ceremony at the US Air Force Academy. Him falling over and needing to be helped up and not being able to get up is a real issue for him politically.
Informing Adelaide.
The fall itself's only part of the problem. The fact that when he's there, he looks like a lawn beetle.
Yeah, he can't.
He's sort of flailing around. The poor old bloke.
None of this is off limits to Donald Trump.
How evil is politics?
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. The 4 First Nations families at the centre of the Hawthorn racism saga have revealed their identities and released a statement. It includes Premiership star Cyril Rioli. There's been a lengthy and at times dangerous car chase on our roads. It started at Woodville North and ended in Burnside. 50 candles will be on the cake at tonight's Adelaide Festival Centre birthday party. And in sport, the Nasi Kokonakis is in third round action at the French Open today. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Trott Park, we've got a breakdown on the Southern Expressway near the Panel and Tingle ramp. Vista crash there, Lower North East Road near Range Road South, and Linton a crash there too, Balea Road near the Windy Point Lookout. Slow going on the drive home at the moment, Richmond Road at South Road with cameras, Port Wakefield Road, Jeps Cross, and President Avenue at Andrews Farm. Donut King is giving away free hot cinnamon donuts today only for National Donut Day. Head into your local Donut King store to celebrate. Don't miss out. Conditions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, mostly clear tonight, down to 13, partly cloudy tomorrow, 23. Right now it's 19 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
Bigger battle, eeny, meeny, miny, moe, and flower, you're the chosen one.
Pick your favourite Kia. From the award-winning Kia Sportage to the street cred delivering Kia Seltos. Or Kia's most powerful car ever, the all-electric EV6 GT. Book a test drive today to find your chosen one. Find out more at kia.com.au or drop into your nearest Kia dealer.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Loving grandmother Joan should have been enjoying the fruits of a life of hard work. Instead, at 70, she was on the streets, penniless and heartbroken. Right now in Australia, older women are experiencing homelessness at alarming rates. Our mothers, grandmothers, aunts and sisters need your help. Donate to the Vinnie's Winter Appeal at vinnies.org.au or call 131812 and give immediate and long-term support to vulnerable older women like Joan.
Over 60,000 Adelaide homes have said yes to saving money on their energy bills with Yes, Your Energy Saving Solutions. What's keeping you? Your Energy Saving Solutions can connect you with the SA government initiative called REPS. To save money on heating this winter, Yes is offering eligible households a 2.6 kilowatt Rinnai system for only $699. For T's and C's on this unbeatable offer from Your Energy Saving Solutions, go to yes.net.au. That's YESS.net.au.
Winter is coming, and it's bringing heavy rain, gusty winds and roaring thunder. But the forecast isn't all bad. as the Olympic Industries winter sale is on now. Expect strong savings across our entire range, including sheds, garages, carports and verandas. So step out and grab a deal. The Olympic Industries winter sale is on now. Olympic Industries, built to last.
Well, how did you go?
She said I need to be patient.
Yes.
And he'll come around.
Told you.
I know. And she was right about my job too.
She sure was.
Love, romance, career. Soul Path Phone Psychics can help you on your true soul path. Starting from just $34, no matter what's on your mind, we have a gifted psychic for you. We accept all major credit and debit cards. Call us now on 1-800-886-000.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes to 6. We still have those Port Locker Room doubles to give away to tomorrow's game against the Hawks. You will not want to miss that. We'll have that quiz before 6 o'clock. And Terry McAuliffe to give us some tips. And very shortly we'll be catching up with Adelaide United CEO Nathan Cosmina and Andy Harper from 10 Football. Huge night for our Reds last night. And we're so thrilled for Craig Goodwin and the way he was able to take out player of the tournament for the A-League. He just gone from where he was to another level this summer, hadn't he?
Oh, he's had an outstanding season. I think the World Cup was amazing for him and for Australia. He was recognised by Graham Arnold. He started, he kicked the first goal. It was incredible. So, really impressive.
15 goals, 10 assists this season. It just goes to show he wasn't selfish, but he was incredibly team-focused throughout the year.
Look, they set a lot up through him.
Yeah, I remember speaking to Andy Harper and I said, no Craig Goodwin, no Adelaide United. And then we go and watch him play, and for me, we've been to a couple of games together, Tim. I know you went to every home game. He was a cut above.
Yeah.
He was a cut above.
Clearly.
Loved him.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, we've got a big weekend of the World Game. Isuzu Ute A-League final is on. We've got the FA Cup final on, all happening Saturday, so it's going to be huge. Who better to talk to than 10 Football's Andy Harper? G'day, Andy.
How you going?
Oh, look, we're excited, my friend, but I tell you what, it's an interesting build-up, and I've got to ask you, how is the build-up to the first A-League final in Sydney going when they've, I think they've secured 3 in a row, haven't they?
It seems to be the case at this stage. Look, it's been a bit of a slow burner. 2 weeks since, Adelaide got knocked out in that semi-final, and then the lead up to this grand final. So, it's taken a little bit of the steam out of things, but it is building. I think there'll be a very good crowd there tomorrow, heavily backing the Mariners, of course. I'm just at this grand final party tonight in the entertainment quarter in Sydney, which APL have put on, and it's a part of part of the program that they want to stitch into grand final week as they go, and they're having a crack. There's plenty of people here. There's a lot of energy, and I think that'll transfer into the game tomorrow. It's going to be a ripper. It really is.
Annie, is anyone there? We've seen social media posts of the photo where you are, the training. There's no one there.
No, I'm there. I don't know how old that social media post is, but there's a good crowd here.
Good.
Where I am at the moment, I've just had to walk out because I wouldn't have been able to hear you, nor you me, because of the noise, the music they're playing.
Thank you.
No, it's a good turnout. They're glad to have some old boys play some five-a-side, which I'm certainly looking forward to. A little bit nervous on their behalf, hoping no injuries. But, this is... Look, there's no hiding from it. It's been a difficult process for APL, largely self-inflicted, because of the grand final decision. There's no masking that. But the decision's been made. Fans of football need to find a way to bury the hatchet and find a way where they can support the game again, if they can find it within them to do that, themselves to do that, and that's their opportunity, starting with the grand final tomorrow, which as a standalone football match is going to be a belter. It really is. We've talked a lot about how good Adelaide has been, and we've got the Coach of the Year, I heard you talking about this, Coach of the Year, Carl Viet, and they've got the Player of the Year in Craig Goodwin. They had a great team. But, mate, in the end, they weren't even close to the Mariners. That's how good Central Coast are at the moment. And this is going to be a great grand final.
Well, for me, Andy, Central Coast is the best team I've seen this year. And I just think, one, they can score, Two, they defend exceptionally well. I think it's the great combination that you need. And I know Melbourne City's had an unbelievable year and they've led the top of the table, just for the whole of it. But Central Coast just seem to be playing the right football at the right time.
Yeah, their trajectory is definitely up over the last 6, 7, maybe 8 weeks. They had a couple of weeks where they couldn't get wins, and you remember there was that mad rush for finals places and a mad rush for the second place in the competition, and the Mariners ended up there. But about 6 or 7 weeks ago, they were dropping points. And anyway, Monty shook the thing up. He shook the team up. He shook a couple of players up. They've been unchanged, I think, by and large, for the last 7 weeks. And what we saw them do to the very, very good Adelaide United team in the semi-final just shows what good nick they're in. We don't have the same read on Melbourne City because Sydney outplayed them, I think, on balance, in semi-final 1, and they go in 1-1 to the second match. But the Max Burgess sent-off after 20 minutes killed Sydney FC. They were never in it after that. And so we don't know, actually, what sort of test Melbourne City at the moment can withstand. Except that they're going to have to withstand a fiery onslaught from the Central Coast tomorrow. We just don't have any recent experience or observations as to how ready Melbourne City are to cope with that. They've got great pedigree. I'm sure they'll be up for it. But I think the Mariners might just do it,
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. Can we turn our attention to the FA Cup? It's Man City v Man United. Man City win, they could go for the treble.
It's never happened before.
No.
They've never played off before.
No. How unreal is that?
Yeah, it is. And the only English team I think that's done the treble is their cup opponent tomorrow night, Manchester United.
In 99.
Famously in 1999. That was an incredible Champions League final. And this is the great historic irony. Manchester City have that within their grasp if they're good enough. And they'll have to get over Man United in this cup final. It's the first Manchester derby for a cup final in the history of that long and celebrated competition. So it's going to be a fantastic Saturday night on 10 and the 10 Network and Paramount Plus. You go from the A-League Grand Final, which I reckon is going to go off like grandma. And then you get...
I love it.
Love it.
Andy Harper, we'll let you get back into the party, mate. Congratulations. Thanks very much for your time, buddy. Appreciate it.
Good on you guys. See you later.
He's a ripper.
Andy Harper, 10 football, brilliant stuff. I'll tell you what you're going to do now. We're going to go to probably one of the proudest men in Adelaide as we speak, Adelaide United CEO, Nathan Cosmina. Welcome, mate. Cosy, was there anything else you could have won? It's the best stadium, it's the best cheer squad, it's the best player, it's the best coach. It's just been an incredible season.
We would have liked to have been the best team. That's probably the only thing we felt.
The only missing piece.
But it was a really good night. It was a hard end of the season, as we've discussed before, and Goody mentioned it in his comments. It wasn't the way we wanted to end, but it was a nice way to cap it off. Craig, in our humble opinion, has been the best player for the last 2 years, and so it was good that he was recognised, and Carl also has had a phenomenal 2 years. So it was good to get some individual recognition on the back of what's been a really good 12 months for us.
It's been amazing, I think, the whole development of Adelaide United. When I spoke to the new chairman, Ned Morris, and I said, look, it's always been this disparaging, where we seem to sit low in the table as far as spend goes, but we're always up in that top four. He said he'd like to see that balance a bit better. Are you on track to be able to do that?
Yeah, well, we are. I mean, it just goes to show that it's not all about money. I mean, it plays a big part in it, but the culture and identity and owning who you are, I think, is something that we've done really well, and Mariners follow a similar model.
Yeah.
But it's getting the balance right. You ultimately need to have players of the calibre of Craig Goodwin if you're going to contend for silverware. So we're working through all that now. That's been the last 2 weeks. It's actually been busier since we exited than when we were in, because we're planning heavily for next year. So no, we feel as though we've still got the balance right, and we're proud of the season that was, but we need to figure out now how we go that one step further, which is basically the mandate for the off-season.
Well, you're right. You got the coach of the year, you got the player of the year, you got the grounds. There's no excuses now. You just need owners to maybe open up their wallets. Is that what I'm reading into that? Have you got a pool of money there or a treasure chest that can go out and get those one or two players? Is that? Is that what it is?
Yeah, well, it's more about getting the balance right. So what we've looked at now is that we had some deficiencies that cost us, and there's an element of luck always. I mean, if you look at, I saw Andy just comment on how Central Coast have had the same team for 7 weeks in a row. We had to completely chop our starting 11 around in those games around Central Coast due to injury. So there's an element of luck where Wande broke his leg, Josh Cavallo snapped his Achilles, so on and so forth. But we've identified a couple of areas that we need to strengthen. But as you alluded to, not only the coach and Goody, but the squad, we've got a really good team. So it's now we've just got to find that extra 5 to 10%. That when the chips are down and maybe you have the injuries or you're having a tough day, you've still got the quality to get the 3 points. That's what we lacked those last few games. So,
well, don't worry, I know you'll be head down, bum up for the next couple of months, mate, and well done. If you do get the chance to have a break before next season, that'll be terrific. You need to re-energise, mate, but you've done a terrific job yourself, Nathan. Thanks very much for all your support.
No, thanks for your support as well, guys. You've been parochial supporters of us all year. It's been great for me to come on, but also for the players and Carl, and we look forward to going again in a few months' time, so thanks for everything.
Well done,
brilliant. Adelaide United CEO Nathan Cosmina, a brilliant bloke doing a brilliant job.
Well, they do a lot right down there. They have real appeal. They really do. And it's great fun going.
Yeah.
The atmosphere's great. The deck's brilliant. The players are terrific.
Well, their last final, 15,000.
I know.
Player of
Just
the
need
year,
a couple more.
Coach of the year, Stadium of the year. You can't get a better coverage of awards.
I want a big marquee. There.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I know where you're talking. You're not talking to 10, are you?
No. No.
Let's do, before we go to the traffic, our opportunity for you to head along to the Port Adelaide locker room.
It's time for 7-Time Timmy's Lucky Sevens.
All right, so last time for the week, 8223 0055. We have tickets to tomorrow's game. It's 1:15 in the afternoon. If you can get along to Adelaide Oval, you will want to have these tickets. Reserved seats in the Riverbank stand. You have access to view into the players' rooms, which looks incredible. 8223 0055. We have Timmy's 7-question quiz. Next, let's check your traffic.
At Vista, there's a crash lower North East Road near Range Road South. That car's stuck in the middle of the road at the moment, so keep that in mind. Another crash, this one's at Linton, Belair Road near the Winnie Point Lookout, and Dry Creek. There's a car fire slowing things up. Port Wakefield Road near Cavan Road. Slow at the moment, Richmond Road at South Road, with cameras Rosetta Street, West Croydon, and Sir Donald Rapper Drive at Brooklyn Park. Receive the free bowel screening test kit. Don't put it off. If you're aged between 50 and 74, take the kit to the bathroom and get to it. It's the free test that could save your life. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Don't just send it, ace it.
I'm with Chris from ASIC Couriers, an SA family business, doing great things for your business.
Thanks, Rowey. Our drivers all undergo intensive training, and the ASIC compliance team regularly audit our fleet. Plus, we use the latest satellite technology to track your deliveries. No matter what it is, we can deliver it safely and on time. Visit asiccouriers.com.au.
Don't just send it, ace it.
The all-new Amarok is finally here at Southern Volkswagen Ranella. The all-new Amarok is in stock and ready to test drive. Don't delay. Call Southern Volkswagen now and test drive today. Just 25 minutes from the CBD. Only at Southern Volkswagen. LVD 152780.
Did you know that about 1 in 3 people will develop shingles in their lifetime, regardless of how healthy they may feel? Don't wait to find out if you're one of them. To learn more, talk to your healthcare professional and visit noshingles.com.au. Sponsored by GSK Melbourne.
Did you know home care packages are available to residents aged 65 plus in Adelaide? Genu are experts with over 30 years experience, partnering with local providers, helping you get the best value from your home care package and enabling you to maintain independence in your own home. To find out more about Genu's home care packages today or how to transfer your existing package, call 1300 558 368 or visit genu.org.au. Genu, supporting you your way.
You might think having thousands of pals is excessive, but that's not what the team at Parafield Airport Liquor Store think, because that's how many they have. Sure, they might be made up of over 200 gins, 300 craft beers, 500 whiskies from around the world, and over 2,000 wines. But they're some of the best pals you can have. and they're always looking for more. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Powers, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
With even more NBN speed to more Australian homes, NBN is really made for more. More what, I hear you say? Well, more streaming. More gaming. And more working from home.
Bye.
Pretty cool, huh? To find out how you could enjoy a faster, more reliable NBN home connection, search NBN More Speed. Experiences may vary due to a range of factors.
Celebrate 85 years of Nescafe and win $2,000 instantly. Purchase a participating Nescafe product and enter online for your chance to win. There's a winner every day for 85 days. Another great reason to have a Nescafe coffee. T's and C's at nescafe.com.au.
The Teacher's Accuser, the gripping new podcast from Hedley Thomas and the team at The Australian. Follow the trial of convicted murderer Chris Dawson as he pleads not guilty to carnal knowledge of a schoolgirl. Available wherever you get your podcasts with extended coverage at theteachersaccuser.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 10 minutes to 6. Terry McAuliffe to give us some tips from racing.com very shortly, but it's time for this.
It's time for 7-Time Timmy's Lucky Sevens.
It's time to give away some locker room tickets to Port Hawthorn tomorrow afternoon.
It is indeed. I tell you what, it's going to be great fun, and it's Timmy's lucky seven with a bit of a twist today.
It is. Ooh,
bit of a twist, so a little bit different. We've sort of mixed up the Rowey hole-in-one with Timmy's lucky seven.
Oh.
There's only one question.
Oh, good.
But they got to get it right. So we're going to go to Daniel from Paralawi. Hello, Daniel.
Hello, Timmy.
Okay, Daniel, this is the game. You need to name 7 players from the 2004 Premiership side. If you get one name wrong, you're out.
All right,
Go.
Wanganeen, Pickett, Burgoyne, Corns, Shredray, James, Franco.
Congratulations.
Do you want me to keep going?
He's got them all. He's got them all. How good's that? Daniel, I should have asked you a hard question, mate. Congratulations. You're off to see Port Adelaide play Hawthorn tomorrow. It's in the locker room, mate. It's awesome. Have you been in there before?
Not in the locker room, no.
Oh, you're going to love it, mate. You get to see him warm up. You get to see him at half time. You get to see him sing the club song afterwards. You're going to absolutely love it. And you get fed. You get some water and some beer if you want. But you'll have a great day, mate. Well done.
Great work.
Great work, Daniel. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
All thanks to portadelaideFC.com.au. That's where you can get your tickets.
Could you name the whole team?
I'd go reasonably close, I think.
Okay. Did Jared Schofield play in it?
He did.
Josh Marnie?
He did.
Toby Thurstons?
He did.
Dominic Cassisi?
Definitely.
Okay. Shane Wakeman?
No, Darryl.
See, gotcha.
Almost had him.
Let's go to our next guest.
Our next guest is Racing.com's Terry
Racing.
McAuliffe. Hello, Terry. Hey, mate.
How are you, boys? Don't ask me for 7 players from the last time Carlton won a flag because it was too long ago.
No. You would get it, though. You would have got it at 95. You'd still get it, I reckon, Terry. I reckon you go well. Hey, mate, last week your favourite that you gave us got scratched.
Yeah, Storyteller. They kept him home. He's going to the races tomorrow, apparently. Lines up in race 4, number 1. So you'd expect him to be hard to beat if he turns up. Michael Hickmott left him home last week.
Yeah, okay. So are we going with that again?
Look, I'm tipping him, but I've made the best on the program, Tim, in race 2, Pudding. Richard and Chantel Jolly.
Oh, Pudding. Yeah.
Yeah, their team, they've been the dominant stable here for probably the last 2 seasons. They won the premiership last year and they had 3 winners last Saturday at Murray Bridge. Team starting to really hit its straps once again after just a little quiet period, but they've got some great chances tomorrow, and probably the best of them is Pudding in race number 2, race 2, number 5.
That's beautiful. An omen bet for me.
Yeah, why is that? You like Pudding?
No, because I'm fat as pudding.
Oh.
Yeah, I do omen bets.
Yeah, well, that's all right. That's the best way to bet sometimes.
Hey, Tez, I'm loading up on that.
Hey, Tez, I don't want to brag, but Classy Kenny ran second last week. Paid all right, too.
And I reckon you threw out whiskey and women as well.
I did,
And
yes.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad.
You were around the mark. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not going to go against you this week. Now, what? Any other on the card with a bit of value?
Well, I'm going to stick with the Richard and Chantel Jolly team. As I said, I think they've got some great chances. So in race 5, they've got Monte Pulciano running, which, look, he doesn't win out of turn, but he's been going well. And Kayla Krauf has only had 3 rides on him for a win and 2 seconds, and she rides in again tomorrow. So I'm sort of going to stick with the strength a bit tomorrow. Richard and Chantel Jolly, they're the leading training combination in the state. Jake Toeroke, the leading Metropolitan rider, rides Pudding. And Kayla Krauf has ridden 84 winners this season, more than any other rider in the state by about 25 winners, and she rides Monte Pulciano. So I'm sort of sticking with the big guns tomorrow, Tim.
That is a great
That's
call.
another Roman bet.
Because you love
Multiple Giano.
Rowey loves it. So
one of the best
well
regions.
done, Tez. I'll tell you what, you've pleased everybody on all fronts.
Well, I've certainly pleased Rowey, which sometimes can be hard to do with my racing segment. But anyway, Pudding in Monte Pulciano.
Ironically, he's put his headphones down and walked out. So he's obviously
taken an early minute, Tez. I apologise.
Yeah, I think he's going to put it on. It must be an
He's
SP.
off to the TAB.
Must be an SP in the room.
Well, I was waiting for him to have a crack at me about my beloved Blues playing a game tonight. Probably going to lose another one.
Yeah, don't worry. He'd be keen to have a go, but I think we'll keep him off air.
He's coming back. No, he's returned.
He's back. He was concerned.
Sorry, I was just doing a sale for Webber then. What's happened?
Carlton played tonight, he said. He didn't want to talk about it.
Oh, God. I do fear for you, Tez. They are just a woeful club, aren't they?
Oh, do you have to use that word? They're a woeful club?
Don't listen to him, Tez.
Well,
Go
give
back.
me a better word. Give me a better adjective.
Well, I'm trying to keep my young lad Charlie sort of engaged and not abandoning the ship and going to barrack for the Crows or maybe Geelong like one of his other brothers. So anyway, I'm trying to get young Charlie to hang in there. But you know, it would have been nice, Rowey. I know that the Blues had a good look at your son, I reckon, once upon a time, but that's what we need. We need a couple of little bloody good small forwards hanging around up there to help bloody Harry and Charlie that are having trouble kicking straight at the moment. Harry in particular.
Yeah. Oh, God.
2-7 in 3 weeks.
Tez, they'll be right. Well done, mate.
Hang in there, brother. Hang in there, mate.
All right. Hey, boys, can I just say, we had the funeral yesterday for Belinda Price at the race course. It was an incredible turnout. There was, look, I don't know how many people that were there. It would have been somewhere between 700 and 1,000. Big thank you to Grant Mayer, Jason Bird, Olivia and the rest of the team at Morphettville. But it was a fantastic service run brilliantly by her brother-in-law, the police commissioner, Grant Stevens, and it was just a perfect send-off for a wonderful lady.
So sad. Well done, mate. Well done. And condolences to everybody in the racing game and the family.
Good on you, boys. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Wonderful work. Terry McAuliffe there. It's time for us to disappear. It's 3 minutes to 6. The news is coming up. And then we're off to the MCG. Huge weekend of round 12 football. Melbourne and Carlton coming up. We'll catch you on Monday.
The FIVEAA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.